give the rule. Okay, so we have a request if you want to please stand for our opening prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So good morning, candidates. Okay, so please take your seat. So let me check first the resources needed for the assessment. Okay, so once again, good morning, candidates. So how are you today? So I hope that you are doing well. So welcome to the Assessment Center. I am Vanessa S, Sosoban, and affiliated assessor for fashion design, apparel, NC3. So before we start, let us first acknowledge the presence of our guest representative, Ms. Ann Lopez. Good morning, ma'am. Okay, so Ms. Lopez is here to observe and monitor the assessment process. Do not worry about the presence of Ms. Lopez because she's here just to observe and monitor the assessment process, and I'll be the one to assess you. Okay, so let me check first your attendance. So did you bring your admission slip? Okay, very good. So once I call your name, please come in front and bring your admission slip and sign this attendance sheet. Okay, so Ms. Casas Jurel, may I have your admission slip? Okay, please sign here for your attendance. Okay. Next is Ms. Pilisarta. Can I have your admission slip? Okay, so please sign here for your attendance. Okay, so today I will administer the assessment for assessment design, apparel, and C3. So I will first talk about the purpose of this assessment. So the purpose of this assessment is to check the level of competency enumerated in the qualification for fashion design and C3. So this qualification consists of basic, common, and core competencies. So for the basic competencies, it includes lead workplace communication, lead small teams, develop and practice negotiation skills, solve problems related to work activities, use mathematical concepts and techniques, and use relevant technologies. And for the common competencies, we have carry out assurance and calculation, set up and operate machines, perform basic maintenance, maintain an effective relationship with clients or customers, manage all performance, and apply quality standards. And for the core competencies, it is divided into the following tasks. First, we have create garment design, calculate and procure garment materials, supervise garment prototype, preparation and mass production, and evaluate finished product, and supervise packaging and dispatching of finished garments. And lastly, we have perform promotional activities for fashion product. So for today, you will be performing the following tasks. So first, you have to create a garment design. Next is calculate and procure materials. Next is produce a garment prototype. And lastly, we have evaluate and package the finished garments. So the methods that I'm going to use are written test, demonstration, and oral questioning. So the result of your assessment could be competent or not yet competent. So if the result of your assessment is not yet competent, you will only take the competency where you were written as not yet competent. And what you need to do is practice and review your modules. And if you are confident enough, you are going to apply for reassessment in the assessment center. So if you can't understand the instructions in the modules that I've given to you, don't hesitate to ask me because I am very willing to translate into our vernacular language for you to understand better. And also, I am also going to remind you that this assessment is very much confidential. And me as an assessor and you as candidates and all persons around here in the assessment center are to keep this assessment confidential. So if you are not confirming with the result of the assessment that I have conducted, you are free to write an appeal to the provincial office or to the provincial director. And of course, for your our CCT. Our comfort room is located at the right side of our learning resource center. And for the meal, of course, if you are hungry, so we have our canteen located at the ground floor. So before I start, I am going to tell you the do's and don'ts during the assessment. So first, you have to practice safety at all times. And second, we have, don't forget to always use your PPE or personal protective equipment, especially when you are using or handling sewing machines and cutting tools. And avoid using cell phones during the assessment. And don't eat inside the assessment area. And lastly, we have the very important, which is don't disturb your two candidates who are working. So I hope that you are understood to the following the do's and don'ts. Yes. So for today, before I distribute your numbers, please read these specific instructions so that you will be able to know what you are going to do for the assessment. Okay, so now I am going to distribute your numbers. So do you have any questions or clarifications? Okay, so here is your number. Candidate number 1, Miss Casas. Here. And candidate number 2, Miss Delisarta. Okay, so candidate number 1 and 2, please proceed to the institutional assessment area for your written test. Okay, so here is your written test paper. Please answer this sheet in 1 bar. Please read the instruction carefully and answer them in our allotted time. Okay, you will start now. Okay, time is up. Please pass your papers. Okay, candidates, please proceed to the practical work area, workstation 1. Okay, please proceed for your corresponding hall. Okay, so here is the tools, materials, and equipment that you are going to use while signing and speaking. Again, I will give you just 5 hours to complete the task, to finish the task. Afterward, please don't forget to put your output, like sketch, the stage sheet, and finished garment in the presentation table at your reciprocal number. And after your demonstration, I will ask related questions based on your qualifications. And while performing the task, I will observe you using my reading sheet. And again, you have to always remember safety first, okay? Okay, let me start now. Okay, we start now. 5 minutes left. Okay, time is up. Candidate number 1, please proceed to the feedback area. And for the candidate number 2, please wait here in the feedback area. Okay, please take your seat. Okay, candidate number 1, how are you? Okay, so candidate number 1 is Asas, right? So I'd like to ask, how was your assessment, candidate number 1? Okay, since you're done with your demonstration, and I am going to ask some questions related to your underpinning knowledge. So, are you ready? Okay, so why do we need to check the green line of the fabric before cutting? Why do we need to include allowance in more material costing? Okay, so how do you ensure quality control before packaging the finished garment? Okay, so let me have your feedback on your outputs. Based on the observation and your answers, you have answered all the questions correctly and properly in your written test. And In your written test, you've got 59 out of 60. Yes. And so based on your demonstration of the projects, I'll give a feedback on each of them. Okay? And for your garment design, the sketch is created, and the theme is clear, and the color palette is well coordinated. And for your material costing, the calculation is accurate, and the material choices are realistic for the design. And for the garment prototype, the fit is good, the seams are clean, and the zipper application is smooth. And the product is very good. And for the packaging, you folded it neatly, and the labelling is correct. And however, during your demonstration, I observed that when you're using the scissors and pins, you didn't place them in the proper place immediately. So also for the fabric scraps, you haven't segregated them properly. So next time, learn to place to place them properly and segregate the waste. So, but all in all, I found you that you are competent. So congratulations, Miss Candidate number 1. So please sign this competency assessment agreement sheet. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give you your competency assessment agreement sheet. So here, uniquely your fashion design, apparel, and C3 certificate at the TESDA provincial office within working days or working hours. So don't forget to bring certification fee of 100 pesos and present the competency assessment agreement sheet and bring a passport size big ID pictures. And again, congratulations, Miss Casas. Okay, so Miss Candidate number 2, how are you? Okay, so please proceed to our feedback area. Okay, candidate number 2, Miss Phyllis Arta, right? Okay, so since you're done with your demonstration, I will ask you questions related to your qualification. Okay, so is it really necessary to shrink the fabric before cutting? So why do we need to match the pattern? In your prototype, is it always right to fold the fabric while sewing? Why do we need to consider the client's body type in the design? Okay, so based on the observation during your oral questioning, during your demonstrations, you have answered the questions correctly, and your written test, you got 50 out of 60. Now for your demonstration, I am going to have feedback on your projects. So on your garment design, the sketch is gray, the lines are visible, but the fit is not very precise. And on your costing, you miscalculating the labor cost. This is very important. You need to calculate the labor cost. And though the material less is complete. On your prototype, the tension of the thread was too tight because in factoring on the side seams, the fit is bit lost on this slide. For the packaging, the folding was messy and the garment was wrinkled inside the package. So I'd like to ask you a question. If you would be given a chance to rate yourself 1 to 10, what would it be? So based on my observation, you have answered the written test and oral questions correctly. However, during your demonstration in your design and posting were possible. So when it comes to your prototype and packaging, I find you not yet competent. So, all in all, the result of your assessment is not yet competent. I suggest you need to practice or review your modules, and specifically on garments construction and packaging. So if you're ready and confident to take again the assessment, you have to apply the assessments to the assessment center. And you don't have to worry because you are just going to reassess on the parts that I found you not yet competent. So please sign this competency assessment agreement sheet here. Sign. Okay, so here is your copy, this candidate number 2. So you can still claim a certificate of competency or your CBC for the units you pass at the potential office if you wish. But for the competency 3, you must undergo reassessment. So bring this competency agreement, assessment agreement sheet, and when you return so you know which competency you are going to retake as study and read. Okay, so thank you, Ms. Sarda. Okay, so now I am going to submit all the assessment results to the representative